All right, so Miss Valley, people doing track 3, let's kind of get you a little bit of a tutorial of how to do this for week 4. Last week we went into Soundtrap and we created a rhythm, kind of a drum track. If you need some help on that, I created another video. You can actually find that on our website if you're going to the Choose Adventure thing link that I have linked in our classroom. Also put that in the comments. There's information on there. So here's the track 3. You click on that, and you get to this page. And now here's week 2, here's week 3. There's a video about how to create your own beat in Soundtrap. So we're going to come back to that in future weeks because we're going to create a melody this week. All right. So how to do that? Well, by the way, if you ever need help on finding the assignments, I know some people are having trouble with that. In Google Classroom, if you go to classwork, the assignment is here, okay? The worksheet that you're going to turn in, week 4. So I've done week 1, 2, 3, 4, that's all there. If you go down to these other categories, you have track 3 performance. If you just want to see that, you can actually click on the topics over here, and only the track 3 performance stuff will be there. There's week 3. There's week 3. We are in week 4. There it is. That's Smart Music week 4, Soundtrap week 4. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. I just want to see these instructions. Okay, so what do? We created a rhythm. Now we're going to create a melody. So to create your first melody, we're going to click that link. It's going to take you to Noteflight, and you'll get signed in. If you've never used Noteflight before, then you just simply log in with Google and use your school G account. The way you usually log in will be the same, and then you're going to follow the directions on the page to adjust your melody. So let's go to the page. Here's what it looks like. So yours will actually just say, build a singable, memorable melody, because we don't want a song that has a melody that nobody really understands. So how do we do that? First step, we'll always add your name here. First and last name, please. And then what we're going to do is down here, you've got 2 staffs to choose from. You can either do the treble clef staff, you can do the bass clef staff, you can do both of them if you want. You can delete one of those, the one you don't need. I'll show you in a second how to do that. But you're going to take one of those staves at first, and you're going to leave the blue C's. This is a C, that's a C. Anyone that's blue, you're going to leave those in place. Okay, don't move those. That's the key signature of the song. This is in the key of C, so we want to keep those notes the same. Move every other note up or down to create a smooth melodic shape where most of the notes move by step. So what's by step? Step is this. Click on that, and I can use my I can either click and drag, by the way, to move it up. Gotta be careful I don't click again when that little note head shows up, then I'll get that. Okay, so I can go to undo. There's a bunch of menus here. Menus you probably want to have open is probably the edit menu for your undo. Duration, if you want to end up changing any of these rhythms, if you don't want to mess with the rhythms, that's fine. Okay, don't worry about that one. Pitch is a good one if you want to move the pitch up and down. And then sound, and there's one more. Where is it? If you want to add dynamics, those are there. And then that looks like it. Yeah, if you want to end up changing any of the parts, that's that. All right, I'm going to move my face out of the way. Click this again to get rid of that. So I'm going to undo. I don't want to create 2 notes on top of each other yet. Okay, I can also move my cursor with my arrows on my mouse, or I'm sorry, on my keyboard, left and right to get to new notes. The arrows up and down to change it. All right, so by step is this. Okay, and up or down by step. As soon as I move away one more note, that's not step anymore. That's a skip. Now you can do some skips in here, that's fine. But where you don't want to have a memorable, singable melody is not going to have big jumps in it because it's harder for the human voice to pick it out unless you hear it a ton of times. So move these notes around, get them where you want. You can change either staff or both and have fun making harmonies out of your melodies if you want. You don't have to. So you can change the instruments, you can change tempo, you can change the rhythms if you want to, or other variables. Add as much complexity as you want, okay? So how do you choose the staffs? How do you change the instruments? Over here under the parts, the little guitar tab, parts, that opens up on the side here. Right now we just have a treble clef staff and a bass clef staff, and those are playing piano. If I want to edit this to a different instrument, okay, click the little pencil, and this will pop up. Here's a bunch of instruments. I can type in an instrument. If I want to turn this into a trumpet, here's trumpet, and it'll change the key signature and everything. Perfect. Very good. Okay, still sounds the same. So by the way, space bar, play. If I want to go back into editing mode, that's up here, edit, and it changes all this. Okay. If I want to get rid of that menu, I click that. If I want to get rid of a staff, I can just hit the delete button and just have one staff. That's fine. Undo. I can even add another part if I want to. If I want to, add, some drums or something in here, or some jazz, a clean electric guitar. Okay, it'll create a whole nother part there. And you can do that. You just start clicking around and see how to use it. But let's go back to the melody. Okay, prime goal here is making that melody. So let's change that trumpet back to treble clef for now. Okay, so let's change the melody. If you want to move up chromatically, I'm hitting the shift button. It goes up by half step, so sharps and flats. If I just do the arrow, it'll just change where it is on the staff. I can also hit my control on a PC or command on a Mac, arrow up. It'll change your octave. All right, so there's those things. I'm also going to start changing some of these lengths of notes. Let's not do that. Let's do that. All right, so let's just get to listen to what that first part sounds like real quick. Click off of there, click play. All right, and so what we're doing here is we're just getting an experiment with moving the notes around, figuring out what sounds good, what doesn't sound good. The second measure might need a little bit of work. I might change some of these. Again, I can't edit right now. I'm in play mode. Go to edit. Okay, let's see if that's better. Okay, I like that better. And this bass clef part, I might mute that out. So if I don't want to hear that right now. Okay, if I just want to highlight just what I want to hear, hit space bar. It'll solely just that part. Now, what's kind of cool is if I just want to do that again, a higher octave, edit, I can just click and highlight that, copy it, click and highlight that, paste it. Now, it's still the same, but I want to change the octave. There's a really neat button in the pitch menu. That's why we have pitch open. Okay, that will actually change the octave. It's called transpose. How do I do octave jumps and other sorts of jumps? Okay, hit the transpose button with notes highlighted. And I want to move them up, and I want to move them by an octave. How many steps is an octave? An octave, think about oct, 8. Tap 8. And there's different choices: diminished, perfect, and augmented. Just for now, stick with, if you're doing any transposition changes, always make them perfect octaves or perfect anything. For example, I could do a fifth or a fourth. Okay, thirds. I mean, some of the, you can mess with these and see what they sound like, but really stick to, if you're going to do any transposition, fifths, perfect fifths, or octaves. Okay, let's do an octave. All right, now let's make the bass clef staff the same thing. Now notice how much higher that is. That's not going to work. So I'm going to transpose and go down an octave. Okay, that's much more reasonable. And I'm actually going to be a little creative here. Let's see. I want it to be the same note. I'm going to move it down by a fourth. Fourth. Now it changed the key on me, didn't it? I don't want to do that. Okay, let's try that again. Notice the key signature changed. So let's do it again. Okay, so here's what it came up with. I did that change of a fourth and it changed the key. I want to keep it in the key of C. All right. And these C's I don't want to move either, do I? Well, let's just see what happens. Transpose down by a fourth, and I'm going to unclick change key signature. All right, let's see what we got here. This might be weird. Yeah, it wasn't very good. Okay, let's just see what that sounds like. So they're an octave apart. Okay, that's not bad. That's a good start. And there's things we can do to make that more exciting and interesting. I could probably change this second version a little differently, like probably move some of these down. All right, so I just changed two measures. Let's see what that sounds like now. And I didn't change the bass clef. Did you notice that? Let's see if that sounds really weird. And play. All right, so let's see what if I move this. Okay, edit. So let's take this and this, copy it down here, and notice it's going to be way too high. So I got to transpose. Let's go down by an octave. And let's actually take this one down. It's way too high for a brass play, for low brass. Let's go down. Let's make that by a fifth instead. I don't want. So E against a B, that's not too bad. Let's go G against a B. G and E is better. Thirds are good. B against an F, that's fine. All right, here we go. And again, I've done music for a long time, so I know kind of what probably sounds good. Again, don't stress over that. If you want to just get rid of one of these stabs, just do one melody. That's fantastic. That's enough. Okay. This was giving you an option for which clef you wanted to do. But big leaps are not going to make it as memorable. Little walk-ups are good. This is a big jump here. Okay, little jumps are better. All right, so I think that's probably good. What you want to do now at this point, once you've done that and you like it the way you like it, click Save when you're done. Then you're going to copy paste the URL into your week 4 worksheet. What's the URL? That's the website link. That's this little thing up here. Now, a lot of times if you just click once, it'll highlight it by itself, and you hit Command-C on a Mac, Control-C on a PC, or you can tap and hold on a mobile device, copy it, and then you're going to open up your week 4 worksheet, okay? And you're gonna open up that right there, My Musical Adventure. This is the worksheet for week 4. And then you paste, make sure it's filled out. And then down here at the bottom, paste. And there it is, that's your song. Okay, so that's all I've got for you guys right now on that. In a second, I'm gonna jump to the part 2 of this if you wanna really go further. There's a lot more cool things you can do to make your song fantastic. So in this exercise, there's a second part here. Okay, click save, copy and paste the URL in your worksheet. That's all you have to do this time. If you want to go more, okay, and learn how to do it, there's a little link here you can click on and read number 3, 4, and 5 on this list of 10 things. So if you ever get confused about where to find things in Google Classroom, we have all this on our website. Again, a little reminder, this is the week 4 stuff, so make sure you complete all of this stuff right here. Okay. If you want to go further, I'm going to create a separate video of what this looks like. I'm going to take the melody I made here, okay, and I'm going to shape it. I'm going to do some things with it using the information held on this link. That'll be a separate video below this one. But that's it, guys. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any trouble, if you're really struggling on how to use Noteflight, I recommend go back and take a look at track 1. They've got some assignments they've been doing in track 1 that are all about starting in Noteflight. There's some things that are written in there that might help you. One of their assignments actually is for track 1, is to do this basic composition. Okay, so you could go into week 4, basic composition exercise, so you really get started on this. And then this is the actual, they're doing the same, the advanced version is the same thing you're doing. So that's there. Okay, lots of resources available everywhere, people. Just if you look around, you're going to find it. I encourage you to have fun writing music. And this is the page I'm going to go over in the next video. All right, so keep an eye out. This will be coming up soon. Thanks a bunch.